Welcome back, folks. Welcome back to the second video of our little Hangman game tutorial series. In the last video, we set up the basic structure of what we want our game to be. In this video, we're going to put together a couple functions. I think we're going to put together the loading of the actual words from a text file into a word list that our Hangman game will be using. And then I think we'll put together a couple of functions that will just be the basic Hangman animation, or draw the hangman to the screen. Right, let's get into it. So the first thing we want to do is we want to come in here underneath our hangman words list. Our hangman words list. And under our hangman words list, we're going to create a list, an empty list called straightforward word list. Okay, once we've created our word list, we're going to come back up to our utility functions, and we're going to create a straightforward open file. I think that's the best way to call it. That we'll just call it if open file, and let's put in a little comment say what this function is going to do. We want to open and load words from the text file into a simple list. Okay, once we've done that, what we're going to go ahead with is put in with open and then the file, which is our easy word list.txt. This is my text document. Here it is. You can see if I open it up, there's a whole bunch of words. It's just a straightforward text file with a bunch of words based in alphabetical order, a bunch of words. It's going to be included in the repository that you'll be able to download and make use of yourselves. So with open easy word list.txt, comma, and we're going to open up as read only, instead of open as file, not file. We're going to say content is equal to file.read lines. Right, and what that's going to do is that's going to go ahead and add all of those words to the content variable. So what we can do now is we can just type in print content, and if I run this code, we should get a large list of words. Nothing is showing at the moment. What have I done wrong? Do I need to move that over? While the file is still open, the variable is there. Still not running into it. Oh, of course. We're not calling the function, people. We need to actually call the function. So I'm going to call the function directly after I've created the empty word list. Let's try it again. And there we go. So let's close the game screen. As you can see, we've created a list of all of the words. So I've just created a word list. As you can see, if you look at the list itself, it's just added all the words as one string, which is a bit of an issue because that means if we randomly select from this list, we're going to pull out this entire string, and that's not what we want. Therefore, the next thing we need to do is further break down that list into smaller parts. So we're going to go ahead and call new list is equal to an empty list. And then, so for item list in content, right? So we're going to say to the new list dot append item list dot split. And we're going to split by a comma. Okay. Once we've done that, you'll see now we've now taken all those words and we've added them to our new list. So we can print the new list to see what that looks like. If we run the game, there we go. As you can see, we now have a list of words. We have a list of a list. So there's a list of all the A's, and then there's each word is now been split, separated by the comma as we want it. But you can see there's a space in between each word, which is a bit of an issue. And as we go along also, we can see There's a new line character. That's also a bit of an issue. We want to get rid of that. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do in this function is we are going to say, right, so for each word list in the new list, right, so for word in each word list, so for each word in the word list, if the length of the word with removing strip on both sides of the word, which is those spaces that we saw, so if the length of that word, right, is greater than or equal to 3, or and the length of that word dot strip, right, is less than or equal to 10, we then want to go to our main word list that we spoke of earlier and append that word dot strip. So we just want to add the word. We don't want any spaces or anything like that. We just want the word itself. What this should do is return us with a proper word list. So we can then go ahead and say print word list. And let's go ahead and play. We should just receive a list of words. And that looks to be working. There we go. It's just one big list of words. That seems to be working the way we want. In each word, there's no spaces next to each word. There's no new line characters. Everything seems to be working correctly. And go ahead and remove that. That is our open file function. That handles that function. So now we've generated a list of words. The next thing we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to create our Hangman drawing functions that will handle the drawing of our Hangman. I've gone ahead and already drawn these images up onto the screen on the relative positions of where I want the lines to be. So I'm going to move through this line by line relatively, well, it could be slow, it could be quick, I don't know. Let's just go through it, bear with me. You can, of course, just go into the code and download it and copy it yourself. For completeness, I'm going to do it here with you underneath the Hangman animation functions. We're going to say def draw gallows. We're going to draw them to the window. Right. Simple column for the formulas. We're going to draw gallows. Right, once we've done that, we're going to go with Pygame.draw.line, and we're going to draw it to the window. The color is going to be 255 by 255 by 255, which is white. You know what? That's going to be repetitive. Let's go to our game settings and say white is equal to tuple of 255. 255, 255. And over here, we can rather just put in white. Right? And then once we've done that, we want the start of our line to start at the coordinates 100, 400. And we want the end of our line to be at 275, 400. Remember, the start of the line will be our x coordinate, x start, and y start, then our x end and y end. And the last argument we want to enter is the line width, or how thick the line is going to be, and we're going to go with 3. All right. So there's going to be 5 of these lines. I'm going to go ahead and copy this line 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, 4 more times. So there's a total of 5 lines being drawn. And now we're just going to go in there. We're going to change the starting x and y coordinates for this yellows. So on line 2 is going to be 125 by 400, and the end x is going to be 125, and the end y is going to be 50. So that would be the upright of the gallows. Line 3 it's going to be starting at start point X is going to be 125. The Y is going to be at Y start will be at 50. Then the X end is going to be at 275, and the Y end is going to be 50. Okay, the next item we're going to go for, we're going to do 125 by 100, and then our X end point is going to be 175, and Y end point is going to be 50. Then the last line that we're going to input there is going to be X start is going to be at 275, the Y start is going to be at 50.
No, you have to just tell you something.
Yes.
Actually, I want to play Minecraft on the computer.
Give me 10 minutes, okay, my boy?
How much is 10?
Go, I can call you when it's finished. Go.
Okay, I need to go through.
Okay, go do that. Alright, 275 and 50, and then the Y, the X end is going to be 275, and the Y end is going to be 125. So let's go ahead and just draw that to the screen quickly. We'll just do it here under our main game function, just to test it out. So we're going to call draw gallows. I'm going to call it to the game screen as the window. Let's just see if we see what that looks like. And there we go. We've just drawn the gallows. It seems to be in the right positions. Everything seems to be correct. That's fantastic. We're going to go ahead now and we're going to do the next function. It's going to be draw head on the window. Alright. And this one's straightforward. Draws the hangman's head. Alright. Now we're just going to go for the same thing. Pygame. Draw line. No, we want to draw a circle this time. Draw a circle. And when we draw a circle, we want to draw the first argument will be the window. Second argument is always the color of the line. Then we want the, if I have it correct, it's the middle point of the circle. My X middle is going to be 275. My Y middle is going to be 175. And then the radius of the circle is going to be 25. And the thickness of the line is going to be 3. So over here, down at the bottom, underneath our draw gallows game screen, we're going to draw head. And we're going to draw that to the game screen. Draw head. So we should have gallows and we should have a head. Oh, that head isn't in the right position. That's interesting. Okay, we just need to move that head a little bit. Let's get that done. Let's go back up to the top. See what we've gone wrong with. That should be 150. If we run it again, we should be fine. The head should be in the right place. There we go. Now we have a head. Then we're going to create another function. I'm going to call it define. Let's just go back. I don't know why the droid is looking so weird. Define draw body, which is straightforward. It's just a line. Draws the hangman's body. And this is a straightforward thing. It's pygame.draw.line to the window. It's going to be white. And we want it to be 275 X starting point. 175 is the Y starting point. Then the X ending point is still 275 and the Y ending point is going to be 225. The line thickness will always be 3. Great. Come down to the bottom here under the draw head. We're going to go ahead and draw body. And the argument is game screen. And let's see what it does for us. It pulls out, there's our hangman, there's our body. So now we need to do legs, left leg, right leg, left arm, right arm. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and draw them quickly. So left arm to the window, and for the left arm, I'm just going to change the name slightly. It's going to draw left arm to the window, and that goes ahead and draws the hanged man's left arm. Right, and that's also straightforward. It's a skew line this time because it's a diagonal, but we will go with towards the window. The color is going to be white, and the starting point is going to be at x 275, y 185. Right, and then the x ending point is going to be at 245 because it's drawing to the left, and the y ending point is going to be 215. Line thickness, as always, 3. I'm going to go ahead and copy this entire draw left arm function and paste it here, and I'm just going to change the name to draw right arm and draw the hangman's right arm. Right, and the x starting position is going to be 275, and the y starting position will be at the same place. Then the x ending position is now going to be at 305, and the y ending position will also be at 215. So the only thing changed is the right arms to the right hand side. So let's go ahead and draw the left arm and draw the right arm to the screen. Draw left arm to game screen, and then we're going to copy that, paste it here, and we're going to say draw right arm. So if I go ahead and play now, I should have, that's it. The only thing left now is the legs. So the next two functions we need to do is we need to draw the left leg and the right leg. So left, draw left leg to the window. Commenter draws the hangman's left leg. And for this one, we've got 3 lines because I want it to be a little bit creative with the legs for some other reason. I can't tell you why, but it's fine. We can do it. So in a window, it's going to be white, and then we're going to have the x starting point at 275, the y starting point will be 225, then the x ending point is going to be 300, the y ending point is going to be 250, line thickness will be 3. Then the next part of the leg is going to be to the window, be white. X starting point is now going to be 300. The Y starting point is going to be at the 250 point. Then the X starting point will stay at 300. The Y will move down to 275. Line thickness will be 3. Again, draw line. The foot. Window, white. It's going to go from 250 to 275, and then we're going to go 240, 275, and line thickness 3 remains the same. I'm just going to copy this draw left leg function, and we will call it the draw right leg function. Draw right leg. And we just need to go in and change a couple of these coordinates. So we're starting at the 275, end of the 225, that's correct. But now the ending x will be still at the 300 mark. Right, I made a mistake here. On my draw left leg, that one there should be 275, 225, 250, 250. Then you go 250, 250. And 250 and 275. Okay, and then 250, 275, 240, 275. So my right leg, 275, 225, 300 to 250, 300 to 250, 300 to 275. You know, bottom here, this is where I went wrong. It must be 300 to 275, and it must be 310, 275. So let's quickly go ahead and call those two functions. Draw left leg to the game screen. That's a problem, that needs to be a capital. And then we say draw right leg to the game screen. We should have a completed Hangman. And there we go. And as you can see, there's his little legs, left leg, right leg, left arm, right arm, body, head, and the gallows. That's fantastic. There we know we have a functional drawn hanged man to the screen. I'm going to go ahead and I think we're going to create one more function now while we're busy with it, because we're going to use it later on. So let's go down to our game variables, up to our game variables and load functions, and over there we're going to call it number of guesses, and that's going to be equal to 0. Okay, and back to our draw hangman functions. We're going to go with, I'm just minimizing them so it's easier to read what's going on here. Draw the head, draw gallows, blah 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 blah. At the bottom here, we're going to go with one more, define function. We're going to say draw hangman, and we're going to take window as an argument, and we're also going to take number guesses, right? And we're going to put in the comment draws the various stages of the hanged man. Oh, that spelling is atrocious. Hanged man, various stages, right? Now we're going to go with it straightforward. We're going to say if number guesses is greater than or equal to 0. Right, we just need to draw number guesses. We're just going to draw the gallows to the window. Alright. Then I'm going to go ahead and copy that. Yes.
I really don't know why the polar bear.
Can't ride a polar bear in Minecraft. It's not a horse. I'll show you now. Okay, just give me 2 minutes.
Okay.
If number guesses good.
One, two.
Okay. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and copy that. Copy it again. Copy it again. Copy it again. So we copy it down, I think it's 6 times. So we're going to 0. We're going to go from stage 1. We're going to go to stage 2. Stage 3. Stage 4. Stage 5. And we've got one more, stage 6. So if we're at stage 0, we just want to have to draw on the gallows if the number of guesses is greater than or equal to 1, which is 0. If the number of guesses is, so we're not going with Aleph, we're saying if. Alright? So it's going to, as we're going along, if the number of guesses is higher than, say the number of guesses is 3, it will then call this function, and this function, and this function, and this function, and that's what we want. So we've got the draw gallows. The next one we're going to say draw head. The next one's going to say we want to then draw the body. Then it will be draw left arm. Then we will draw the right arm. The next one we will draw is the left leg. Then we will draw the right leg. And that would be the end of the game. So I'm going to go down here. So let's just test this quickly. We want to take the number of guesses. We want to make it 3, as I said. So if it's at level 3, it should draw us the hangman all the way up to the left arm. In our main game loop, we can remove all of these functions now. And we're just going to call draw hangman. And the arguments is to the game screen and number of guesses. Our variable there it is there. Number of guesses. Alright. So remember we changed the variable to 3, so we should get our hangman at stage level 3, which is drawn all the way up to his left arm. Fantastic. Do you see that we are making progress? Great. I think we're going to call it a day for this video right there. I thank you for joining me. I hope this video was easy enough to follow along with. The code will be up on GitHub for you to download so you can review it, view it yourself, change it a little bit. The drawing of the body of the actual hangman itself, I'm sure you'll be able to find. Maybe you could do it better yourself. Maybe you want to change it. What is going on there? Sure. Thank you very much for joining me in this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now.